Hey guys, what's going on? It is Thursday, April 23rd. Got a pickup video for you here. I actually picked this up a couple of weeks ago, and I'm surprised I forgot to put it in my video because I was super excited to get it. But anyway, got a Sega Game Gear. It's in great shape. You can see I got some fingerprint smudges on there because I have been actually playing it quite a bit. My sister had one of these when we were kids. I shouldn't say had one of these. She still has it. I noticed her screen's getting a little dark, so Jenny will have to either get that refurbished or track you down a better one. Yeah, Game Gear was ahead of its time. Color screen. It ate up batteries like a beast, though, and that's what killed it. It's interesting. I did get a carrying case and 5 games with it for $30, and I got this, the Game Gear Power Pack, and it is a Sega branded product, but for the life of me, I don't know if this thing takes a charge anymore or not. I've had it plugged in several times. It doesn't seem to do anything. I haven't been able to run my Game Gear without it. And to be honest with you, I am not going to be a portable gamer that needs to use batteries. I'm going to have my Game Gear right here at my desk in my office area, if you will, to play games. Alright, the 5 games that came with it, 2 of them are nothing special. That is Madden 96 and NFL Quarterback Club. Not really a big deal. I think I might get 50 cents on trade for both of them. But there are 3 other games that are fantastic that came with it. That's Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I don't really need to explain that. Chuck Rock, and I see that this one is not particularly valuable. The loose cart goes for about $5 to $7. But I see that Chuck Rock 2 is amazingly valuable if it's complete. Even a loose cart goes for about $10 to $12, but a complete copy goes for about $30. And I've seen there's new sealed ones that go for like $300. So the new sealed ones must be very hard to come by. And then last but not least, Super Columns. This was Sega's sort of Tetris, Dr. Mario, Bejeweled kind of thing. I don't think Bejeweled was around way back when Super Columns came out, but the 3 games I got with it, and a carrying case and the charge pack and the actual AC power adapter for $30, not a bad deal. It was free shipping, so yep. Then it was over to another Chance thrift store. Used to be called the Dakota Boys Ranch. I don't know. I think they're still associated with Dakota Boys Ranch. Here in Grand Forks, it's basically a thrift store that collects donations, and it's basically a rehabilitation program for troubled youth is what it's for. That one seems to operate off of some pretty heavy donations from Target, because they have a ton of Target branded merchandise in there. Anyway, up first, peel the price tag off of this. This was $1.99, not particularly valuable, and probably not even worth $1.99. But that is NHL '94. I am on my way to completing the Sega Genesis NHL series. This is where Sega made its hay. They had blood in their Mortal Kombat, and their NHL games played better than on the Super Nintendo. I don't know. I sunk thousands of hours into them. Also, for $1.99 I'm on a tear with this game lately. I've been finding them all over the place. NBA Jam Extreme for the PlayStation. I'll have to get it buffed out. It's not the worst used game I've ever found by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to have to get that buffed out. Anyway, then for the Nintendo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, this is a fantastic, amazing game. Glad to get it. It's pretty clean too. There's no dust in the cartridge slot or anything like that. So yeah, glad to put this in the collection. Then this is brand new, sealed and unopened for $4.99. I see it's not particularly valuable, so I don't know if it's a bad game, but $4.99. Comes with a steering wheel adapter, and that's GT Pro Series for the Wii. Never been opened. Still sealed, as you can see. I'll open it up, see what it's like, give it a whirl. Not particularly an amazing game by judging everything I've read, but I'm excited to give it a chance. Then over to the Salvation Army, and I had a pretty solid pretty solid pickups over there. Lately, they have been getting Genesis stuff in left and right. I don't know who is donating this stuff. That's where I got Battletoads and Double Dragons, NBA Jam Tournament Edition. And then this week, oh, and that's where I also got that Mean Bean Machine, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Then this week, went in there, and sitting right there on the shelf is another Genesis game, complete in box, in immaculate shape as well. And that is, he even has the warranty card in here. The box is still stiff. The teeth that hold the cart in place is still stiff, and there's no dust in here. So I don't think a lot of this stuff got played. I think somebody got a Genesis late in its lifespan, and either stopped video gaming altogether, or got upgraded to a Saturn, PlayStation 1, or an N64, and just never really got back to their Genesis collection, which is totally understandable. But this is the Incredible Crash Dummies. I see a complete in box copy is relatively valuable. I mean, $15 for a game is pretty solid when you consider it is a 22-year-old game. I remember seeing it at the premiere video here that we had in Grand Forks years ago. I never played it, but I think it's based on those the crash test dummies. But I don't think they're the actual crash test dummies that were featured in the commercials. Vince and I can't remember what his sidekick's name was, but anyway, this is complete in box. I already played a little bit of it. Had a lot of fun. It's a side-scroller platformer action type game. It was what I played for about an hour was relatively fun. By no stretch an amazing game, but for $3, I'm not going to complain. Then another really good find out there. This is sealed at a thrift store, complete in box, brand new condition, and that is Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. Obviously, the original Size Matters was on the PSP, the PlayStation Portable, and this is the PlayStation 2 port of it. Interestingly enough, a new copy of this fetches about $30. I was surprised to see that, but I imagine, as I was talking with Kelly over at GameStop, I imagine that this is a lot harder to find, just because, you know, they probably didn't make a ton of these for the PS2, just because they were really pushing it on the PSP at the time. So glad to get it. It's sealed. This one might go up for sale because I don't know if I will play that very much. There's a couple of others that will go up for sale that I jumped on. I couldn't pass it. Actually, no, this won't go up for sale because I don't have this. That's Kingdom Hearts 1. Oh, by the way, all 5 of these games that I'm showing you from Salvation Army were $3. So, Kingdom Hearts, complete manuals here, and that's interesting. Someone actually filled out the warranty card and sent it in. That's funny. Being that this was in conjunction with Disney, it's funny. There's your Disney superstars sing Disney hits their way, and they've got NSYNC, Aaron Carter, Ashanti, Baha Men, Jessica Simpson, Smash Mouth, and Usher. It's Disney Mania. Wow, I never knew this. Right here, flipping through, there were Kingdom Hearts action figures for the PS2. Did not know that. They're probably worth it. Or they're probably fairly expensive now. These are all in, and this is in great shape. Like, this is untouched, fantastic shape. It's in a PlayStation 2 case as well. $3. Another good find out there. Neither of these are particularly expensive, but they're both really solid games. I will probably get rid of the copy I have, as it's the greatest hits version. Don't have any problem with having a greatest hits version, but this is an original black label. Final Fantasy VII, Dirge of Cerberus. Did not care for Final Fantasy VII. I don't really care for the Final Fantasy series in general, except for their action-based ones. I am not a huge fan of turn-based, and I've never really jumped. The setting has never done anything for me, and that sort of thing. But the Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy Type 0, and the new one, Final Fantasy 15, looks like a lot of fun. But yeah, I didn't really care for Final Fantasy growing up. I know when PlayStation 1 was around, Final Fantasy 7 was like the title that everybody had and everybody wanted. But anyway, It's Dirge of Cerberus. And then last but not least, they've been getting a lot of last gen, so PS3, 360 games donated lately, and most of the time it's the Maddens, the Call of Duties, the stuff that you can go into any store. You can go into fucking gas stations and find copies of Call of Duty, for Christ's sake. And anyways, I went in and they had this complete. One of the teeth is missing, so the disc pops out, but it's in great shape. And that is Prince of Persia. This is the cel-shaded one. It's actually really gorgeous. They clearly, after playing this, had played some Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. It just looks heavily influenced by it, plays just like it, and to this day, because it's got really bold, beautiful cel-shaded graphics, really nice looking game. Then I went over to, I'm going to identify them now, First Rate Pawn here in Grand Forks, and I got the Vita games 2 for $10, and not the Vita, the PSP games were 2 for $10, and then this other one was $10. So I got these 3 games for $20. But the only reason I went there is that I was in the neighborhood. That was it. I try not to go in there. Especially when the guy says to me behind the counter when I'm going up to pay for it with my debit card, he's like, "Oh, we'd prefer cash." Why don't you just come out and say that we don't want a paper trail because we don't want to pay taxes on this? That's sketchy as fuck. And that will definitely be the last time I go in there. They could have a cart of Little Samson for 50 cents in there, and I'm not going back in there. That's just, we prefer cash. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Anyway, what I did find there was pretty decent. These were each $5 a piece. Wipeout Pure for the PSP. Love the Wipeout series. And then our Atari Classics Evolved. I see there's only, what is it? Right off the bat, there's only 11 games available. But then you can unlock 50 more. Over 50 more games to unlock on here. So I don't know how many are actually on here. And then last but not least, this is a brand new sealed copy of Universe at War. Not particularly rare, kind of uncommon. I don't think Sega really is in the business of putting many more games out, especially on the Xbox and PlayStation platforms. It's just gone so badly for them recently. But this is a really decent, really good RTS. I played the demo on the 360 and really enjoyed it. It sort of goes hand in hand with those Supreme Commander games, and I love those. And I see that this, as a new copy, is relatively valuable. I don't see this out at Rock 30 or at GameStop all that often. I'll see it once in a while, and usually it's just the game, so it's in just a blank box, or it's the game with no manual. But this is complete, brand new, still sealed. Glad to get that. Did go over to GameStop. Went over to GameStop and picked up a couple of games that were basically getting they're sort of outliving their usefulness on the shelf to the GameStop crew. First one is, let's clean this up. I hate doing this. I thought I had all these peeled off, but I obviously wasn't paying attention. First up is Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon. This thing has been cut out, which leads me to believe that at some point it was donated to the Another Chance thrift store. For whatever reason, they cross out the brand or cut out the brand. I have that box for Skylanders Trap Team that I got there for $20. And the same thing, they've crossed out the Xbox One logo. And on this one, the PS3 thing is just cut out. I will probably track down new artwork for it. Case is a little worse for the wear, but, you know, it's very tough to beat up a Blu-ray disc, so glad to get this. Then this is one that I've been kind of looking for a while. It is not complete, and I see that manuals and artwork are tough to track down, so it's just going to be a constant quest, but that is Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo. Full GameCube controller support, so I'm looking forward to playing that. I will pop it in either on my Wii U or my Wii, but yeah, glad to get that. And then last but not least, I loved this game when I played the demo, and I just never got around to picking it up. and the guys at GameStop told me it plays great on the Kinect. I'm just not going to invest in on it on the Kinect that I have on my on our 360 in the living room. But that is Child of Eden, and as I pointed out before, I absolutely love when they give you an alternate artwork, and I can flip that around and use that on display. It's actually pretty gorgeous. This is the guy who made. I always get it mixed up. I always want to say this is the guy who made Frequency. I always get Res and Frequency mixed up, but it's Tetsuya Mizuguchi. He did Res and Luminous, and those are two fantastic games. Child of Eden, sort of a spiritual successor to Res. It's sort of a, if you're not playing it with Kinect, it's just a point and aim shooter from the first person perspective. Graphics are gorgeous, very brightly colored game. You sort of play along to the music. Just a really fantastic game, and this was all of $4. I've watched it just drop like a rock in recent months in price. I think, to be honest with you, the reason it drops in price is it's got the plays better with Kinect on it. I know that Ubisoft and even Microsoft had high hopes for this game being in a Kinect 1.0 seller, but it just didn't pan out. So yeah, the case is a little worse for the wear because it looks like the price tags had been removed several times and put back over. I have a feeling people bought this and just brought it right back. Then it was over to Rock 30 and picked up a couple of games there. I still had some of my Rock 30 rewards points, so I think I had like $10 off, and I used that. Been seeing this one climb in price lately. I don't know if it's getting a cult following or if it's just getting tougher and tougher to find. I don't really see it that often, so I'm glad I picked it up. I know there's another YouTube channel here, Retro Gamer Central. I know that he absolutely loves this game, so I figured I would pick it up, give it a whirl. This is Zack and Wiki, the quest for, what is it, Barbaros Treasure. I don't see it that often, and I've been noticing that the price has been climbing on this. It comes with, that's interesting, it is complete in box and everything, and it came with two different sets of instructions, one in English and one in French. I don't know if that was supposed to be that way or if that was done in error. Maybe if someone sees this, they can let me know. But Zack and Wiki, action platformer, puzzle solving, whatnot. I see you use a little bit of the Wii motion to play it. Not really big into those, but ever since I've seen some gameplay videos of this, I'm really intrigued as to what it is. Looking forward to playing it. Then, this is nothing special. I've never actually played this one. And that is Medal of Honor Airborne. I see it gets middle-of-the-road reviews, but I also see it has a devoted following as it's a semi-open world Medal of Honor. The case is beaten all to hell. The artwork will need to be replaced. The manual is there. It looks like somebody's dog chewed on this, and I get it because I have a puppy, but keep your games someplace where your animals can't get to. Accidents are surely going to happen, but I see it all the time at pawn shops, thrift stores, and used game stores. Games just beaten to shit because they let their animals just destroy them. And like I said, I get that accidents are going to happen. You go to work or you go to school for the day, and the dog or the cat gets into them. That stuff's going to happen, but a lot of these are just because people toss their games on the floor. Disc is in great shape, though. Then over to First National Pawn, where I don't know if this is a standing deal, but it's buy 4, get 1 free. I picked up 3 games for the Game Boy Advance, and that's F-Zero Maximum Velocity. This one I'm really glad to get, Marble Madness, and let's see if it'll focus for us. Marble Madness and Clax. Absolutely love Clax. Probably my favorite puzzle game of all time. And here is one of my favorite shooters of all time. Used a lot of Mode 7 scaling on the original Game Boy Advance, and that's Iridian 3D. I am primarily going to play it on my Game Boy Advance player. Iridian 3D reminds me a lot of the 3D levels on Nanostray. Very similar in terms of movement and whatnot. Obviously not with the 3D capabilities because it was on the Game Boy Advance, but it reminds me quite a bit of that. Then also, I see this is climbing in value like crazy. Never actually played it, but was always intrigued by it. Alien versus Predator. Aliens versus Predator. It's by Rebellion, and anybody who knows, there's Gandalf again. I can't record a video with him without him insisting on being in it. Anyway, Aliens versus Predator. This is not the Colonial Marines debacle from Sega and... Why can I not think of it right now? Sega and Gearbox. So yeah, and then it's you play as a campaign. There's 3 campaigns in the entire thing, and that is Predator, Alien, and Marine campaigns. And if I remember correctly, it's a reasonably long game, like 12, 15 hours. So, and I see it's climbing in price. I would have preferred to found it on the 360 because that's my preferred console. Still to this day, even over Xbox One and PS4, the 360 is my preferred console. Then this one is crazy stupid fun. The first one wasn't great, but this one is actually a really good game, and that's 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. The artwork is a little dinged up. I'll probably get some new stuff of that, but yeah, this is actually a really fun game. Third-person cover shooter. If I remember correctly, you're trying to like find a chalice, a golden chalice or something like that. Kind of a bizarre game. Then there was one more pickup over there. They had this for $12, and I have no idea why, because these are worth way more than $12. You go to any used shop, and they're selling them for anywhere between $25 to $35, and I got a black Wiimote with Wii Motion Plus in it. I wasn't going to pass that up for $12. And then, last but not least, I used my... If you pre-ordered Mortal Kombat, you got $10 in Reward Zone. I got... and I already had a $5 coupon on top of that, and another $5 coupon, so I had $20, plus another... That was $20 off of 40, then another $4 off of that, and this is Resident Evil Revelations 2, so I got this for $16. Really good pickup. What I've seen, I've enjoyed. Love Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is my favorite Resident Evil game. I know there's some people who are scoffing at that and saying, what about Code Veronica? I say Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, Code Veronica, and then Resident Evil 4 are my favorites. Trying to think. Resident Evil 5 and 6, those are a goddamn mess, and could not finish those for the life of me. I don't care for the Resident Evil meets Gears of War style gameplay that they put in there. The co-op shit I don't care about. It's not that I don't want to play co-op. It's just Resident Evil, playing it in co-op takes some of the scare out of it. Some of the tense moments aren't scared when you're talking to your buddy through a headset. So, and there was one last pickup. I tweeted out to a friend of mine to a friend of mine at Hello Neo. They do her and some of her friends do the Backwards Compatible Live podcast here on YouTube, so check that out. I tweeted out which game should I jump into next in the Tales series after I finish up Chronicles, Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, and I got a ton of suggestions, and I'm glad I did. I know this has been re-released on the 3DS, but I really prefer to play on console because I like that. I like sitting in front of a big TV with a loud stereo to play games, and that is Tales of the Abyss. I know this is a reasonably valuable game, tough to find. Tales of Destiny on the PS1. If you've got a copy of that, if you've got a copy of Tales of Destiny and you're looking to get rid of it on the PS1, leave a comment below and I will work something out. But I got this off of eBay. Wasn't cheap. It's $30. It wasn't too expensive. That's certainly not the high end of the prices on it. I see it in town here. When First National Pawn had it, they were selling it for 35 or 40, and I think that's right about the price that Rock 30 has it at. So to get it for $30 with free shipping, not going to complain about that. Pretty solid week. Nothing incredible like there was last week. Yeah, got some pretty solid games here. I'm going to do a live stream of why can I not think of it? I just picked it up. Medal of Honor Airborne, and when I get my new monitors, I got two of those Sony PlayStation 3 3D monitors. I've got 2 of those on the way. Those will replace the current monitors that I have. Once those are hooked up, I will be able to run my PS3 through my capture card, because as you know, you can't do it with the HDMI. It has to be through the component cable, and those Sony 3D monitors have component inputs on them. So I'm going to grab those, get that all set up with my PS3. Sorry, my leg is really itchy here. That's the... Anyway, once I get those set up, I will do a full game room tour and whatnot. Still pushing for 50 subscribers, everybody. So I'm not pushing for 50 to like monetize my channel, because 50 subscribers wouldn't make you jack shit. It just pushing for 50. The more I kind of, like I said, I enjoy collecting and showing everybody what I collect and finding odds and ends and showing you what is out there. And if you pay attention, I know my buddy Aaron, he primarily resells. He does play video games, but he primarily resells. He does the same. He does the same thing. You know, we're constantly looking for deals and whatnot. Not deals in the sense that like, hey, is this the best price you can give me? No, I mean deals like, hey, you found a cool old game at a thrift store or a pawn shop or a consignment shop, and you're able to pick it up. So yeah, I will see you guys later. My monitor should be here next week, so I doubt I will actually do a pickup video. I will probably finally get everything squared away here in my office area and do a full game room tour. Until then, guys, we will see you next week. Bye.